Next week, we'll be discussing Smiles of a Summer Night from 1955. Tom, how was your watch?
I haven't seen this movie in I think 12 years. And I like Bergman. And I was recently I watched this on the Criterion channel, their subscription streaming service. And I had the last movie I watched on there was last weekend was Bergman's The Magic Flute, which is also a delight. It's probably the best film of an opera that's ever been made, his version of The Magic Flute. And then turning back 20 years to this, it's been so long since I've seen it, and I've forgotten how wonderful it is. It is a supremely enjoyable movie. I think it's a top five film for me. Um, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I watched it on the computer. I think I watched it two or three times over the last few days, and there's a line in it I want to share because I this has become my motto, I think, and it's the old woman, the mother of Desiree, who says this, and she says, "I'm tired of people, but that doesn't stop me from loving them." And I think that that basically has sums up the attitude I've had towards, towards people and towards my romantic relationships over the last 5 or so years in a single throw pillow. So I had an absolute wonderful time revisiting this movie. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's hilarious. It's actually quite painful at times in its pathos. Um, and it moves like a train. It just goes. And God, I'm just sort of gushing now, sort of incoherently, but that's fine because this movie is joyous. Ragnar, how was your first watch?
Well, I agree. I mean, this movie deserves to be gushed over. I feel like I've seen this movie like five times at this point, five or six times, at least once a year. And what I'm surprised about each time is how timeless this movie is. It doesn't feel like an old movie, in terms of slow paced or people might get bored. In fact, that I encourage anybody who maybe is hesitant to get into foreign film or to get into old foreign film to start with Smiles of a Summer Night because the pace is blistering fast and the dialogue is as funny and sharp and witty as anything before and after that movie. So I think it's one of Bergman's top films, one of the funniest films ever made. And I literally can't wait to watch it again. KJ, how was yours?
So, for me, this was a recommendation for friend of the show, original fan Kagar. I think we've mentioned him on the show before. He was pretty excited. He had gotten a Blu-ray box set, I think, of all the Ingmar Bergman movies. Um, I'm not sure how far into the box he's gotten, but he did see Smiles of a Summer Night, which he recommended. So I snagged it from the library, and I loved it. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it's a lovely comedy of wit, double crossing, good old fashioned light backstabbing, right? Like it's really fun. Audience, if you haven't seen any of Ingmar Bergman's movies, I'd recommend Persona, but Summers of a Smile Night is also really great. Smiles of a Summer Night, as Tom mentioned, is available on the Criterion Channel streaming service at the time of this recording.